Hi everyone. Today I have another Zenith AM/FM radio. I think it's plastic. It could be Bakelite. I don't know. It's in really bad shape. I mean, it's not cracked, the case, but it's filthy. The dial cover is very filthy. The whole radio is filthy. It's missing the Zenith logo badge here. See where it was, and that's missing. This is the tune. No, this is on and off. That's your tuning, and this is the selector switch for AM and FM, I believe. It does have a control over here, and you can see, I don't know what's happening here. It looks like something oozed on it. I'll have to open it up and see what's that all about. I'm not sure the model. This plate tag on the bottom here is pretty worn out. It says long distance. So here's something moving around in there. Yep, something's loose. Back cover's on it. Looks like the power cord is missing. I don't have any nothing, no information on the year or the model yet, but, and there's that. Okay, we'll take the back off of it real fast and see what is happening. There it is. Okay, obviously the power cord goes in here and they cut it off, so that's got to be addressed. Now the antenna is in the way, you can't remove it from there, so let me take the screws out of the bottom of the chassis and I'll pull it out, and the knob's off and I'll pull it out. It is filthy in there. I'll be just a moment. Okay. Even the screws under the bottom are hard to get up. So I pushed the tone control, if it is a tone control. Probably. What is that? Looks like an antenna. How can I push this? Let's try to push the knobs. There she goes. That's a little bit. There it is. It's moving. I don't want to lift on that antenna. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Boy, is that filthy. And this is moving around in there. It comes right out. Looks like it's missing its little tabs on there. Little fasteners. So maybe somebody's been in here. Get this out of the way. What is that falling? I heard something shaking around, and did I get it? Boy, look at how rusted up this tone control is. If that's the tone control. Let's take a look under the bottom. See what they did. Oh, that looks like they got a selenium rectifier. Okay. Some friction tape here doing something. Sand coated resistor. Look at how thin that wire is. Oh, it's just bare. It's the copper. The wire has corroded. It looks all original. Raise this camera up. Maybe I can bring it in. I don't even want to touch this camera. It's so sticky up here. Right here. Here's the capacitor. That's what's left of it. That's I never remember ever seeing anything like that. At least I'd see the other half soldered in somewhere. Where is it at? Where are you hiding? You just can't just... Oh, I see. It came out of here. Because this is hollow. Duh. That went in there. These two are stuck together. Boy, that had to explode. Look at the nasties. Waxy, waxy. Boy, I can make a candle on this thing. There it is. Yeah. That's right there. It broke, that capacitor broke out of there. Oh, here we go. Model 7H. It's 7H8. It looks like 7H822Z. Says that's the model. You don't see the tubes. See if they're all original Zenith. 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 They're all Zenith tubes. Bet you everything's original in here. Okay. I had to put this radio on this stand because it just won't sit on the edge. It won't light it that perfectly. So I just want to bring out the stand. I want to show you what I'm going to do. Perhaps I'll have to turn it back when I go for it, but I'm going to do something different in this video. I'm going to change components and explain what I'm doing at the time. So that way you get an idea of why. The problem is where do you start? Everything's got to be changed. There's some stuff in here that I don't know. Like this one here I want to show you. If you can see inside that capacitor. The end literally just blew off right here. Gotta turn it. I did put my speaker cover on there, and I also covered the back because the last one I did, I pushed it, I had it covered, and I put my finger through the back end of the from the basket side. So took the antenna off, and I'm not closing this. I usually, it's always a good idea to close this variable tuner when you're working on it, but it's protected by this cover that's for the permeability FM tuner. You know, sometimes I wanted to say, well, I'll start over here, because it's all going to be replaced, or I'm even tired of power this up. But I am going to go over here to make room for my electrolytics. So I'll change this one first. These, you know, everything's Zenith in here. There's all 7 tubes are Zenith tubes. Everything's got Zenith numbers on the parts as far as capacitors. So this is original. Everything is original about it. This is only set that you see once in a while, not that often, where everything's original. Like especially tubes, you don't see that. So I'm going to replace these two and the one down there on the bottom. Can't see that yet, so I get these out of there. Looks like the ground, the foil end is facing this way. I'll check it when I take them out. But I'm going to start clipping. So I'll clip that one. Get it out of my way. And where does that one go? Looks like this to the wiper of the volume control. Now this one's on there. I'm going to clip this one so I know how they go. Those two will be out of my way. I have to go and get a couple of capacitors. I would like to know what that one is. These three's got to go, and then I want to see if I can get that. Boy, they didn't give me much room, but I can't get in there to clean that volume control bus, and I need to clean it because I know it's going to be dirty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go get some capacitors. Let's see if, and I'm going to take that one and have to cut it out too. Well, I could do that. I'm going to cut that one too. I could do three. I'll do the ground side. All my tools are going to get very waxy. This don't look like a Zenith for some reason. Oh, it's a Zenith, alright. It is a Zenith, alrighty. And what are you? Wax covering that one up. That's a 0.05. And the voltage on that one is... you can't read it. The wax has got it off there. I'll have to look it up. It doesn't matter because they're going to be higher than what they are. So I need two of the... No, I need the 0.5. What was that? 0.05. So I need two 0.05s. Then I gotta check the resistors. I'll have to do another trip down to the basement to find them if they're out of tolerance. There you go. Now it should come out down and out. Pass that piece of board. Come on. What's holding me? There we go. There we go. And I have two different types of the accent. I've got this F5 and I got D5. D5 I use for switching stuff. F5 I only use for potentiometers. It's the best for them. Let's see if I can get that in there. Let's see if it's on low. It's on low. I don't think it went in there. Okay, I worked better off the camera, but I got it done. I did take this volume control back out and cleaned out the holes in the geometer, and went with this resistor in through the hole and this capacitor through the hole and soldered it up. It's that 0.05, and then that 820 ohm resistor going to ground. So, and then also that one side of the on-off going to ground. So I got that one done. So it's the 0.05, 0.05, 0.02. And I did change this blue wire here. You know, I was working around there and I'm just looking at it and it's brittle. The rubber insulation is just, I've seen 3 or 4 areas and I said, nah. They had stranded wire in there and I said, well, it's power lead. So I put a solid, it's easier to work with. Well, let me go ahead and I'm going to start changing these. Get myself some room so I can have more of an option of putting these electrolytics in maybe a different area instead of just, they don't have to be here. I can make the wires shorter and put them anywhere as long as I got a ground go to. So I'm gonna start changing these. I'm working on this rag off here. Got all these changed in here. Gives me a little bit of room. Okay, making progress. So I've cut all of this down here that you've seen, all the way around here, down in here, all of this. I think there's like 8 resistors I replaced so far on all these caps to right here, to this IF can right here. So we're all the way around here. So we got all of this in here, up in here to go. This is the actual photo facts folder for the Zenith 7H822Z. And I'm going to show you something where, you know, this radio, as mentioned before, it's been all original parts, from tubes to everything, all components. And this schematic just, I don't know, it just aggravated me. I can find it right there. Audio output tube. Notice the plate. It says pin 3. So naturally, when that's off, all the other pin identifications are all going to be off. Plate is showing it. Just remember that shows pin 3. And while I'll tell you about it, let me think now. I got to go back to this off. And let me see if I can get that back up here. You idiot. Hit the wrong button, turkey. Let's see if I can get that 3. Now, this is the same tube, the 35B5. Let me bring that up. This is what gets you sometimes, and it's so aggravating. Here's the plate right here, and it's pin 5. It shows it right here, pin 5 being the plate. This is the correct. This is what's in the radio, the way it's wired. But I was going by the schematic on the photofax, and it just didn't add up when I was installing the components, the new components in there. I thought, you know, and then it just drives you batty. It just like, you know, so you start second guessing yourself, you know, because you count from the left to right when you look at the socket under the bottom. 3 was the heater. 3 and 4 are the heater. And they showed, you know, it was just so crazy. Like, and I said to myself, I said, well, it's got to be pin 5. The plate is on pin 5 because it's, so I went and I got the pin out for it. Beam powered amplifier, miniature type 35B5. And it goes to show you that the radio was right. As far as wired right, but the schematic was just horrible. I mean, in that respect, and there it goes, shows you pin 3. So that, you know, that it drives you nutty sometimes, and you just second guessing yourself, saying, why that don't make no sense. Some other tube anymore from left to right. What's you know, it's like second guessing myself, and that's crazy. So I thought I'd just, you know, heads up on that too, because things aren't the way they show in the schematic at times, and you Gotta kind of look for them and know what to look for. But what the heck is that? Get out of there. But yeah, I shouldn't have looked at the schematic because it was untouched by all the parts were original, and the tubes are all Zenith. But it's just a habit of mine, so I thought I'd bring that up to your attention. That watch out for some of the schematics and alignment instructions, even if it's a photo fax. I got this 80 here, small as I had, but so I mentioned there was a ground here that I went to, and I brought it back over here because I didn't trust that little wire. I mean, it probably would have been fine, but I put another wire there and bridged it over. And then I also, this ground terminal, it was riveted on the chassis. I don't like mechanical connections, so I soldered it to the chassis. So that's a good ground. And then the 40s up here where I broke off the lugs, twisted them off, and got the 240s in right here. I've got the everything done under the hood. Let's see if I can bring this camera up a little bit. Maybe back it out so. These ones down here are always a little hard, especially when you're working around coils. That's the AM oscillator. This is the FM oscillator coils. FM and AM. Okay, but then you got these two ferrite coils here for the permeability tuner. So it's always. I mean, so this stuff. Then these resistors get in there, getting resistors. I mean, you got to be very careful. And then under this switch. So what I did was one of them. It was going to ground on the switch, so I said, heck with it. I went right here with the ground with this one because that was going up that way. This one I couldn't do that. I had to really get in there. It, took some time, but it's done. The only difference I saw with that schematic is this resistor up here, and it called for, schematic called for a 470,000, and there was a 510K in there, and I put the 510K in there. Even at 470K at 10% would give me 500. I don't know, 518 or something. So I checked this one, it's 500, it's just south of 513. So that's the way it goes. So it's all done. Everything's done under the hood. So now we have to focus, and then there was a lot of capacitors and resistors. Now we have to focus on top of the chassis. I had to take it off that stand because there was some of them were a little hard to get to those brackets. So now I can put this back on. This neon bulb, I had to take that out because I was afraid I was going to break it off. It's just the on and off indicator. That's all it is. No dial light. Okay, now I got to put the string on. And hi everyone. First of all, I want to thank all of my viewers and subscribers for watching my videos. I'm not out to trying to make money. I don't think any hobbyists, as far as radio and TV, are thinking of it, making money. You don't make money off of a little hobby like this. But those that have watched and subscribed, hey, glad you're interested in it, and I hope you're making it a hobby. I'm going to make a two-part of this video because I'm tired of cutting a lot of stuff out when I edit. Some of the stuff needs to be in there. And I got this radio restored, but I got problems with it. One being I have a short in my, let's see, that would be the antenna gain on the tuning capacitor, down from about 700 kilohertz to 550. There's a short there in the rotor, and or the fins, if you will. So I've already fixed it, but I'll show you how to identify it, find it, and then fix it. Then I had a problem with the neon light. It's just an on and off light. Where it would go on and off. So I fixed that. Then my speaker, after a little while of playing, because I always like to see if I can unplug this. A little burn-in time before I do an alignment. And everything under the bottom of the chassis was perfect. It ran, it's just spot on. But you will find other things wrong with an old radio. And by the way, this radio had a lot of hours on it. You could tell by the resistors, the way they were all way out of tolerance. And then it probably just sat around for ages without even playing after that. Every one of those capacitors was so waxy, and I had to clean my tools off like every other capacitor. They were so waxy. And a little noise from my speaker too that I do not like. I went and I took it out. I had taken off that dust cover off the coil, and they did it too liberally. Let me put this down some. They were too liberal with the glue. I mean, they took the glue with the dust cover. They glued not only it should have just around the speaker, but they did the whole inside of the cone where the speaker coil. That's not good. I thought maybe it was here, and I put tape on it. I use a paper towel, a 2-ply. I only use 1-ply. I thought it was there. It wasn't. So now I put glue around here. I'm waiting for it to dry thoroughly. So if that ain't the repair, then I'll have to replace it. I do have a candidate for a replacement, so it ain't no big deal. But I like to get this one going. And so, like I said, I fixed the short in the tuning gain, and I fixed the neon bulb on it. I'll explain that later, but the video has gone way too long. So I just got the speaker to deal with right now. I'm waiting for the glue to dry and try it out again. If not, I'll put a replacement on there. There's a slight difference in the number, but it mounts the same. It is a Zenith. But I believe the coil and everything's gonna be the same. If I have to use this transformer, I will. This output transformer, I will. But I do have another speaker. But I like to get this one going. So I'll turn it back this way. I got another few hours for it to cure this glue. But I just glued it in the speaker coil area, just around this area. Like I said, they were too liberal with that glue, and when they glued this dust cover on, they also glued it around there, and I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. So I'll get back to you on all this stuff on part 2. In part 2, I did turn it on. It worked right off the bat. Once I figured out my selector switch, which was AM and FM. So everything worked great. But except for that, when I got down to about 700 and lower kilohertz, I could hear that short. You can hear it popping. And then this neon light just kept intermittent problems. I'll show you how I fixed that. And then, fire it back. Well, you'll see that I fired it on, and then I'll put it back on once I get the speaker in, and then do an alignment. And also, I did this cabinet. I got started on this while the glue was drying. Man, this bottom of this cabinet was so full of a chunk of wax, and then wax all inside here. I mean, like it's just liquid wax. So I got that. And if you remember, this had oozing. Something didn't ooze, something spilled on it. And I took a razor blade, a straight razor blade, and I was able to scrape that stuff off. It was hard as a rock. Now it needs a good polishing. And real good polishing. Get that going. I think I even got a decal downstairs that might fit over here. A little badge. Zenith badge. Off of one of them old chassis, I think. I'll take it off there, but nevertheless. Yeah, so I've got this going. So anyway, like I say, I appreciate you watching my videos. Hopefully you're getting something out of them. I've been working on this stuff started out with TVs with my dad. I was a young teenager. And that's been a long time ago. And the only time I ever took a break on it was when I was in the armed service. I think I did fix a few of them for the service guys. I had a little soldering iron and some hand tools. I was able to do stuff, but anyway, I'll get back in with part 2. I apologize for having a part 2, but I don't want to. There was a lot of this was a lot of hours in this on this radio, and everything was original from the manufacturer. You know, all Zenith tubes, nothing was ever touched under the chassis. Like I like to call it the hood, under the hood. Everything was original. So I'll get back to you on part 2, and it's already in the making as far as part of it being edited, but I still gotta finish up my speaker and everything like that. So I'll have part 2, and it won't be that long. So thanks for watching.